right. Hasn't gone live on the channel yet, though. That's weird.
Give it a few seconds. It's usually a 3-second delay at least.
Unless... It still says I'm hosting Biscuit Weasel. It doesn't say I'm live.
Oh. Yeah, it says host. Yeah. I thought you said you changed it. Oh, there it is.
There it goes.
So
there
let's
it
see
is.
what delay we got.
There you go. You can see it on my screen.
Yeah, standard 3 seconds.
All right. Let's see. Listeners, we are live coming up on this week's edition. Blah, 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 blah. Let me grab the picture.
Yeah, Flair's just told everybody that the countdown is live.
Oh, okay. He didn't post the other thing. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Coming up on this week's edition.
Oh, okay, he did? Okay, cool.
He just didn't tag everybody in that.
Oh, no, no. I was gonna... When I sent it to him, that's when I was hoping he was gonna post it.
Yeah. No.
But that's okay.
Hey, Ouchie.
Hello, everybody in the chat. I can't see you because I am still in current blackout mode. I'm still...
Ouchie, ouchie. Would you like some Scottish in you?
People can't see, but I'm giving myself the biggest face palm in the world because of this man.
Would you like a bit of Scottish in you? Ouchie. Ouchie girl. Is that what it is? I haven't got the audio on.
Yeah, of course it is. It's the proper Escape Podcast intro music.
Yeah. Even though it is just 7 seconds looped over and over and over and over and over. That's all it is. It's 7 seconds that I just looped for 5 minutes.
But it works.
There's never just a bit when it comes to Scottish. Aye, lassie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. People. You two behave. By the way, Neil, Ouchie wants to teach you Second Life.
Ouchie wants to what, sorry?
He wants to teach you Second Life.
Second Life? I have no idea what that is.
It's a life simulator that you can download for your computer and walk around.
Live sim? No. I've had a very, very interesting full life. I don't need a second one.
But there's things that she wants to show you in Second Life.
Okay. Neil is the musical mastermind. Yes, I am. Thank you for pointing that out. The sky is blue, grass is green. Neil is a musical mastermind.
You're a musical mastermind, yet I'm the guy that worked in rock radio for the longest time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this needs a trim. Oh.
Your hair needs a trim too, but we ain't gonna do that till we get to 1,000.
My beard and tash needs a trim. I broke it. I broke my beard trimmer last month. Busted the head. It would be a hilarious stream, would it, Ouchie? Okay, I'll take your word for it, girl.
All
cheeky girl.
We're gonna go dark.
Are we?
Just like
yeah, we are.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's episode of the Escape Pod Cast.
Paul, I am so looking forward to your live reaction of the road ahead.
Don't spoil it for me, but, do you think I'm going to like it?
Ooh, well, let's see. There are some parts about the...
Neil, save it. I'm seriously going to make it through this without you spoiling it for me.
Yeah, but are you going to,
Neil, no, stop. A live reaction is coming up in our first segment.
Fine. Okay, but I do get to talk about the Vader touch-up in segment 2.
Yes, and he is finally the badass that he deserved to be all along.
And let's not forget about our incoming transmission.
The Gambit podcast hosts Solo Base and Zareth join us to talk about what they have been cooking up, and I understand we were kind of a inspiration for this.
And of course, Patreon's choice questions in our fourth segment.
Neil, I'm going to prepare you. There are some very odd questions this week, and we're going to try to get to every single one.
And of course, breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Podcast. I'm your host, Neil Andrew Eyre, or the Nev, whichever you prefer. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host and hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, take your fingers out of your ears and say hello to everybody.
What?
I said take your fingers out of your ears and say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. Okay, so...
I haven't seen it.
I have
not seen it. I made it.
You made it to the show. So we are going to get a live reaction from someone who has not read or seen comments from anyone who has read the road ahead. So
nothing.
Yeah.
I've absolutely blocked myself out for this because I want to provide a live reaction to this.
Okay, just get on with it now because people want to chat. People are going to want to chat. So let's go straight to it.
But just really quick, hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. Whatever the button is, just hit the button. We want to get to 1,000. I want Neil to cut his hair. All right.
Okay, I've already got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not have access to chat. I do not know what you're saying. Here we go. The road ahead, June 26, 2020. Hi, Holotable Heroes. We're excited to begin sharing details about the next feature coming to the Holotable in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Galactic Challenges. Our main goal for this feature is to provide more activities for players each day. We hear players asking for more ways to use their growing roster of units and want more than just new events that you can master quickly or sim. Galactic Challenges are the first in a series of features similar to how Grand Arena was the basis for Grand Arena Championships that will work together to offer new ways to utilize your collection. Okay, what are Galactic Challenges? Galactic Challenges are a new type of event that will feature interesting combat puzzles, which will change on a regular basis. I have a feeling where I've seen that before. These events will feature a rotation of different enemy factions, allowing you to test out different parts of your collection. What makes Galactic Challenges an interesting twist from other forms of combat is the introduction of randomly selected combat modifiers to constantly change up the puzzle. Modifiers can come in 3 different forms: environmental, enemy, and player. We want to keep these bonuses and matchups thematic, but use a wide variety of options to keep the challenges unique and interesting. For example, environmental modifiers can come from the planet or location and apply to both the player and the enemy. Hoth could have a modifier called Frostbite that makes all the units vulnerable. Enemy modifiers are tied to the enemy faction, so Imperial troopers could have a positive modifier called Imperial Assault that gives them offense up, but also a negative modifier called Pew Pew, which makes them hit less. Did they really do that, Neil? Did they really
Yes,
say
they
pew
used the
pew?
word pew pew, yes.
All right. Player modifiers can also be positive or negative and applied to the player's units. The different environments, enemy factions, and combat modifiers, positive and negative, combine to create fresh and interesting challenges. The challenging galactic challenges. We're still working out some of the details, like at what level they'll unlock, but our intention is for galactic challenges to offer an appropriate challenge for you wherever you are in the game. Well, that sounds like it'll unlock earlier. There will be multiple tiers of increasing difficulty, and players can attempt them all, interesting, to earn rewards, but will recommend a starting tier based on your collection. In addition to playing the base mission for each tier may feature feats. Okay. Feats will add an additional layer of complexity to the puzzle. So while you can bring your favorite squads into battle, feats will challenge you to complete the battle with additional conditions that earn more rewards. Neil, this is what Carrie was talking about.
Is it?
Episode 16, when she said, reward you for doing things handicapped. This is a Carrie idea, Neil.
Okay.
This is a Carrie idea. All right. You'll earn access to the galactic challenges by completing daily activities. Once you've qualified to enter the event for the day, you'll be able to play any tier, and importantly, you'll be able to play as many times as you like for that day to attempt to complete as many tiers and feats as possible. Similar to Grand Arena Championships, we'll release Galactic Legends in an exhibition season format. During this time, we'll try out different versions and see which combinations work best, but we're currently envisioning durations of 24 hours to 7 days with 7 tiers of difficulty and 3 feats per tier. That's all we have for today, but look forward to sharing more details about Galactic Legends in future posts.
Challenges, Galactic Challenges. You keep saying Galactic Legends. It's Galactic Challenges.
Galactic Challenges. Sorry. Okay.
Galactic Legends.
Okay, let me finally open up chat. I don't know what anybody's been saying. All my chat is gone. I've completely blocked out the chat. Let's finally open up chat and see what people are saying. Actually, I do have a way to go back. Let's see, guys.
I knew what was in I read it as soon as it was posted. I read it. I knew, and I know what's been in the road ahead since I read it this morning. I just didn't know what people's reactions were because I've had a busy day and I have not had the time to log into multiple various different Discord servers and see what people's reactions were. So I don't know how the general public has reacted to this, but I mean, I'm not jumping for joy. I'm very happy.
I'm actually encouraged by it, Neil.
I'm happy that I'm happy that we're getting a new game mode. I am genuinely happy that we're getting a new game mode. I'm just not. I'm not satisfied. I'm not entirely satisfied with the way that it's been presented today. We've got no date. We have no idea what the prizes are. And this was delayed by a month. I kind of get the feeling that they could have told us this last month instead of making us wait until the end of June. I look at this and I think to myself, yeah, this is probably something that they could have, because there's no date on it and because there's no indication as to what the prizes are or how long it's going to be, and it's just a general statement about this new system that they're giving us. I think it would have been more prudent for them to give us this information last month, and then the future posts could have been this month and next month. And I kind of get the feeling from them saying future posts is that we're going to be drip fed information and data about this new game mode, just like they did with Galactic Legends. So I do kind of get the feeling that we're going to get drip fed this instead of just boom, here it is. This is what the first exhibition is going to be, which is what I think we should have got.
I can understand that. What
That's why I've got this sense and this feeling of being underwhelmed. That's why I feel underwhelmed, because I feel that what they're telling us now could have been told to us last month. With and then fine, they tell us this last month, and then they start drip feeding us. They could, if this is the road ahead, if this is indeed all that's in the road ahead, they could have given us this last month, and this month could have been the first month when they start drip feeding us information.
Okay, so do remember that the anti-China patch is coming, the new client.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be coming up in just over 2 weeks. But something that made me kind of laugh here, Neil. And I don't know if I saw it, but it says similar to Grand Arena Championship. Or no. You'll earn access to the Galactic Challenges by completing daily activities.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
And then you get to play with your toys.
Yeah, you're going to have to. They're going to do it so that you have to complete your daily activities in order to attempt this. So your people are going to need to spend an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
I do all my stuff in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but that's for somebody that's level 85. People that are under level 85 takes a lot longer. Takes a lot longer for early game players to complete the dailies, because you've got to remember that the daily quests that are required of early game players are different from the late game players that have already achieved level 85. You have to do more squad arenas. You've got to do more fleet arenas. You've got to do there are more things that you have to do. So I think it's probably going to be about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, while you do your dailies, and then by completing your dailies, this new game mode is going to unlock. So,
but Bodie caught my joke. Please make it get your 600 tickets, and all of the guild leaders will love it.
Yeah,
he caught my joke. That would work. Oh my god, the guild leaders would love that. It only activates when you complete your 600 daily tickets. It took Bodie pointing it out for you to get that, to catch my joke.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our listeners and viewers who caught that on the first time I said it.
I had to see it in chat for the penny to drop. But 7 tiers of difficulty, multiple feats. They keep using the word puzzle. It just confuses me.
So think of the assault battles. Think of the Endor assault battle, where you used Thrawn with BB-8, B1, Magna Guard, and somebody else. I use B2 myself. That's kind of a puzzle. Stack up the stuff on B2, fracture T-bow. I figured out that puzzle.
Yeah, but it's hardly a puzzle. It's theory crafting.
Okay, then
semantics. You say puzzle, I say theory craft.
It is semantics. You are arguing semantics here.
It's one of my best things. That's one of my best qualities, arguing semantics.
Oh, you think that's quality?
Oh yeah, that's a quality.
Okay,
that's definitely a quality. But yeah, just looking back over it, I'm curious. I'm curious as to why they're comparing it. I mean, they are comparing it to Grand Arena. They are saying that it is similar to how Grand Arena was the basis for Grand Arena Championships. Now, I don't know if that's comparing it to Grand Arena or is it is it a way for them to come up with a Grand Arena Championship format for this new feature that would have individuals competing against each other to complete, who can complete the tiers fastest? Is it something like that? Is it a I mean, there really is no way of knowing. We need a lot more information on this.
Okay, so they talked about you'll earn, where was it? They'll feature a rotation of different enemy factions. Neil, you know that Llama and I do the event or do the podcast for Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed. You left that show just before they released mode called Brickspedition. In that mode, you find your way through a path earning different rewards, which that's what this sounds like. But you make your way through that path, and as you do that, some of them are and I'm going to Star Wars this up so people understand. This side you have to use dark side only. This side you have to use light side only. And you'll get a certain reward depending on where you go. Now, if you do that, it takes you down another path where you could possibly get 3 Clone Wars Chewie shards, or you could end up getting yourself 200 guild event tokens. That kind of
I think it's going to be call it a mishmash, call it a hodgepodge. I think it's going to be a mishmash of current events. So I think they're going to take maybe a piece of GA, and a piece of GW, and a piece of the light side and the dark side nodes, and a piece of territory wars and a piece of territory battles to create this. I think it's going to be like a piece of everything, to create this new game mode. But I'm curious as to why they haven't even hinted to what the rewards might be. I mean, are they going to give character shards? Is it going to be gear? Is it going to be a new currency for a new currency store, like Flair just suggested in chat? What is it going to be? I mean, there's no indication whatsoever. And which is why I'm underwhelmed with this post at this time. If they'd given us this last month, I wouldn't feel so underwhelmed. But because they've made us wait so long for this tiny bit of information, here's a new game mode. This is roughly what it's going to follow. This is roughly the pattern that it's going to entail. It's going to have feats. It's going to have tiers. You're going to use all your roster. I mean, yeah, it sounds great on the surface, but that's all we've been given is a surface look at what this new game mode is, and that isn't going to satisfy a large swathe of the community. It's not satisfying me. This would have satisfied me last month, but not this month, because they made us wait an extra month for this, and that's why I have this this feeling of not being satisfied by what they're giving and presenting to us now. Does Nev sound a little tinny? I got a little tinny.
I can concur that this isn't the normal road ahead, and the last road ahead was abysmal.
Yeah,
we can agree on that.
Yeah,
we can absolutely agree that the last road ahead was abysmal. This is a step up, but it ain't what it used to be. It certainly isn't what it used to be.
Boulder they need to give us more information, and they need to give it soon, because this is not going to satiate the needs of a lot of people.
Yeah. Boulder says, imagine a game mode where you can only use light side scoundrels and bounty hunters one day, then Empire and Rebels the next. So remember that they did say, I want to point this out, they did say that you would be able to use your entire roster. So I think that it's sectioned off like, for example, you can only use Galactic Republic in the second node of what am I thinking of? Galactic War. And then the next part, you can only use such and such. And then after that, it opens up to using whatever the heck you want.
Mm-hmm. Do you know?
Think of it
Do you
like
know what?
that.
Do you know what it's? Do you know what it's going to be? And I'm sorry, but this is, you know, I mean, I hate to sound. I do. I really, really hate to sound cynical. But I do genuinely think that they're going to make the exhibitions geared around the factions you get from the Hyperdrive bundle.
I'd like to
Because
see
you
them
get a
not
lot
make
of
one of them.
you get a lot of factions from the Hyperdrive bundle, and there are a lot of free to play that are veterans that have been playing for a year, maybe 2 years, that still don't have some of the characters that you get from the Hyperdrive bundle. And I think that, you know, people that have the Hyperdrive bundle will probably find this feature a lot more fun, because they'll be able to potentially do more of the tiers than someone that doesn't have the Hyperdrive bundle, that is more of a mid-level player, someone that's only been playing for a year, 2 years. I mean, veteran players are going to have all of the factions, and they're going to be able to enjoy it all anyway. So it's good. It's going to be very, very good for veteran players.
What about possibly also being able to use your guildmates' heroes in this? Think about that.
That would be if they have a facility where you can actually use your 50 allies. That too would be good. I mean, I hope that they incorporate that in there as well, because everybody's got the ability to have 50 allies, but once you're a long-term veteran player, those, you know, they're surplus to requirements. You know, the 50 allies are there to help you through the early game. You don't need them end game. As an end game player, I can't remember on any of my accounts the last time I used an ally, because you just don't need to. Once you've completed all of those nodes,
you sim it.
Lights, and you can sim it. That's it. You don't need those 50 allies anymore. So it would be nice if they incorporated ally use in the new game mode. That would be great, because then you could have a lot of cross collaboration with people. Would just use the 50 allies to be the 50 people in their guild. And then everybody can talk and chat in their Discord servers, in their guild Discord servers. Oh, you know, I need this person in order to be able to complete tier 3. Can someone put that as their main so that I can use it as an ally? No, that would be great.
So get this, Neil. And Llama is kind of going after what I was going after. Of course she is. Incorporate the character sharing feature from the Lego game, where you get to choose what character you're donating. Instead of having to go in to do a battle, you don't have to spend any energy, and you could say, okay guys, I'm gonna put up my Tusken Raider in case you need the Tusken Raider for the Tusken level. So here you go, enjoy.
Yeah. No, I think that would be great. I think that would be great. I also think that here's the thing, because they've been I mean, it could be that they've been so abstract and so vague with the rewards, is that they're now watching us all. You know, the devs, they're now watching us all. Right, okay, let's go and watch all of the content creators, and let's see what they're speculating as to what the rewards might be. And then we can add that to it. And it's like, hey, you know, we've listened to what you've been saying in your content. We've listened to your podcasts, and we've listened to your videos, and we liked this idea.
Do you really think they listen to this?
So we're going to award. So if you complete tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at 7, and you complete all of the feats, you will earn enough shards for this new character that we're bringing in.
Neil, after episode, I think it was 63, do you really think they're still listening to this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're never going to acknowledge that they listen to us, They're not going to acknowledge that they listen to Arnold, that they have someone watching Arnold and watching Cubs and watching us and watching Urza and watching Rambam and watching Grid and watching all the content creators. They would never openly admit that they watch us because, I just don't think that they would. But how many times has a content creator called something and got it right or got it spot on? Exactly. We've both done it. Everybody's done it. Everybody's called something and then it's happened. Is it coincidence or is it them watching us but not acknowledging that they watch or listen to us? So we need to. I think the community's primary function now should be constant feedback and constant discussion on what the rewards should be. Okay, we should be talking about what we want to see from the rewards of these. Obviously, a tier 1 prize is going to be a hell of a lot less than a tier 7 prize.
Okay, what do I want
no
for
different.
rewards?
GAC, you've got different prizes as you go through, Carbonite, Erodium, and then you get all the way up to Carbo. You get more gear, you get better prizes as you go through the leagues. Okay, that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do that with the tier system for this new game. But they need to make the prizes worth it because it's going to be daily.
Okay, so as somebody who has all of my characters except for the recent releases at 7-star, I don't have Poe and Finn, and I don't have the Mandalorian characters. I don't have Jedi Luke because I'm not ready for Jedi Luke. I've been focusing on Kylo Ren. That being said, as someone who has all those 7-star characters, if they award character shards, it's all going to end up going into shard shop currency.
And
I
yeah,
buy things,
and,
yes.
And that's that's good and bad. That's going to be for somebody that is like you and like me, a long-term veteran player. But I will say that think about it. Maybe they could do something along the lines of galactic bounties. When they bring galactic bounties out, you can choose which tier you want to do, which then chooses you can choose to get Papaloo shards or Holdo shards or Kira shards or Nessa shards.
Which I'm thinking they're going to do with the map.
And it'd be nice if they did something like that, because every time Galactic Bounties comes out, I go straight for Holdo because Holdo's not someone I've got 7 stars on. So I've got Nest at 7. I don't need to do that. I've got Kira at 7. I've got all of the other characters. So it's like, great, there's an event here I can pick and I can get shard rewards for a character I don't already have. So I'd like, they have the potential to do something like that as a reward. People choosing their reward by virtue of choosing the tier and choosing the feats. Something like it's got look. I'm not totally poo-pooing this. I think it's good. I do genuinely think it's good. My underwhelming is simply through the timing and the way that they've delivered this information. I still think that this has a huge amount of potential to be a great new format for the game.
And fair enough. I totally understand that. I'm still processing it because once again, I read this for the first time less than 30 minutes ago with you guys. So I'm still processing. I'm interested really in these modifiers as well. I love the idea of Hoth. I'm wondering if we'll get Mustafar. That would be great.
Yeah. Well, the modifiers are going to be like the modifiers are going to be like we have with Territory Wars. You remember when we got the Territory Wars? We used to get lots of vanilla Territory Wars, and then all of a sudden they started throwing in. You can use this faction, the Geos, and the Geos could, before the Geos got the rework, you would use the Geos, and they would have these special modifiers if you used the Geos. So modifiers,
and that was, so and Neil, that was a benefit of things that maybe newer players now. You're not getting to experience that. They found a way to incorporate it, and let us speak to the new players for a moment and say, guys, other than, I think there was one where, I know there was one where they banned characters, but other than that one, they were actually fun to play with characters in a certain way. You know, all Hans on deck, where you got bonuses if you had an all Han team. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was
So they're going to do that. They're going to draw from what they did during those alternate territory wars, where because we would get a vanilla one, then we would get one with some weird freaky stuff in it, then we would get another vanilla one, and then we'd get another territory war with some freaky stuff in it, and then they just stopped doing it. Okay.
Sorry, Geek Girl says, remember that time they did it on Mace, and Mace was actually really
exactly.
good?
You know,
I'm gonna say this. I took my Gear 10 Mace to counter 2.5 Treya team. It was great. Anyway, Neil, we're at the top of the hour. Let's take a break and then come back, and you're gonna tell everybody who's your daddy.
Yes,
right
I'm
here
gonna tell everybody who's your daddy
on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Have you been interested in getting items 3D printed but haven't wanted to buy one of those expensive printers? Are you looking for a literally one-of-a-kind tech gift gadget? Evil Genius 3D Printing and Gadgets is your one-stop shop for both of those items. Nerd-owned and Escape Pod approved, put Lenny the Evil Genius to work for you. If you can dream it, he could possibly make it. Contact Lenny at evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com for more information. That's evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com. Get something unique in your hands.
Hey, I'm Andy Beads.
Hey, I'm Danish Bobo.
Hey, I'm Ando.
Hey, I'm Jake.
I'm Bringer of Death.
Jake Johnson TX.
I'm Ramby2307.
Spartan EZ here.
I am Mr. Jacobachi.
Star Wars Galaxy of the Yeti.
I'm Player Gaming Embers.
I'm Lazy Turtle.
I'm Mudbum.
I mean, come on. They already know me. I'm the bloody co-host.
And we are part of
the GAC Chain Gang.
We're a group of streamers who
stream our Grand Arena on Twitch
and continue the chain
into the next streamer.
We have all types of accounts for you to enjoy, from the big whales to the
small accounts.
But we're all here to provide entertainment
and have a good time.
The Grand Arena Chain Gang is proud to be part
of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. Stop by and see them, won't you?
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the second segment, where we talk more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Yeah, so that was a interesting discussion, to say the least.
I'm still catching up on everything from.
You've got a lot to catch up on. Oh, what the hell just happened there? Something happened on my PC. Oh, right, okay. Oof. I had an
Everything
alert.
Okay?
Yeah. I had an alert. It's just a Microsoft account problem. They need to fix my Microsoft account. No, you don't. There's nothing wrong with my Microsoft account. So, right. We had a very, very interesting Father's Day this week. Very, very interesting Father's Day.
Belated.
The daddy of all daddies. You know.
Belated Father's Day.
Yeah. Well, it was still a good Father's Day gift. They finally reworked. I mean, it wasn't even a rework. It was a touch-up. But, oh my God, what a touch-up it was. Vader is finally the most bad person in the galaxy. He is exactly where he should be as one of the most powerful evil people in the Star Wars galaxy. And oh my God, the new thing that they gave him, the new ability was just brilliant. I mean, when they touched up the icon and when they touched up his graphic and they touched up a few things and they made his breathing like really weird. It's like, really? Is that all we're going to get? And no, it wasn't. It really, really wasn't. And then they dropped on us exactly what he was going to do. And the Merciless Massacre. Oh my God,
Yeah.
is this thing awesome. I mean, forget the fact that...
Thank you, Buzzsaw.
Thank you, Buzzsaw. Forget the fact that obviously they dropped the requirements for Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker requiring a Relic 3 Vader. They gave Vader a touch-up that doesn't make you need him. It makes you want to take him to Relic. I took him to Relic 3. Relic 3, that was it on my Merc account.
Thank you, Llama, for 500
bits. Oh, wow. Thank you for the bits, Llama. And thank you for the subs, Buzzsaw. So on my Merc account, I took my Darth Vader to Relic 3, Gear 13, Relic 3. Just him in the leadership slot with 4 other Gear 12s. So I went in with Vader, Palpatine. I went in with Malik, Bastilla, and Revan. Right? I autoed the challenge tiers. He hits. Mine was at Relic 3. He was hitting at 500,000. 500,000. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it's just an incredible. I mean, you can take out Geos. You still need a couple of tanks to do the taunting, but you can take out Geos with this. You can take out Padme with this. You can take out the Revans with this. I think the only one that I've seen a little bit of difficulty with is is a GG Separatist droid team. Oh wow! Thanks for the bits, Shaman. Loving it.
Thank you very much.
Zarif just pointed out as well. His ship is now super thick. I mean, I went up against a Relic 2 Vader. I went up, I saw I'm smacking it and I'm like, what? Why is he not going down? Because normally the Vader ship would just go down like a wet noodle, but for some reason, his ship is now good. So, just having him in a squad, just a dark side squad or it's really his one character with his leadership ability and the Merciless Massacre. It's just made him such a brilliant character. And it genuinely makes me feel sorry for all those people that spent the time and the money on Jedi Rey. It really, really does, because it'll take out Rey. A Relic Vader will take out a Galactic Legend Rey team, and you don't even need Wat. You don't even need Wat Tambor.
I'm going to quickly. I'd like to quickly acknowledge that yes, we do have a hype train currently going in the chat. We will make sure 100% that we acknowledge all of you for for all the love you guys are showing.
Oh my God, dude! Thank you so much.
We will make sure to acknowledge each and every single one of you that is doing this.
One of my British amigos in the chat. Mike Hunter's in the chat.
Yes. But
welcome to the party, pal.
We're already at level 3. I just want to. What I'm saying is, we will acknowledge you guys at the end of the segment. Do not think that we are not grateful or that we're ignoring these things. This magic that you're creating during the show. We're very, very appreciative of it. And Frankie, you almost got me there. You did almost get me there. All right.
So back to Vader. Vader
so
is
moderators
now...
in chat.
Yeah.
Do keep going. do keep going, guys. Get this trainer rolling. We will acknowledge everybody at the end of the segment. You are all so very awesome.
Yes, you are.
Wow.
Awesome, lovely people. So, Vader, GAC. Vader's just become one of the most important characters you can max out for GAC now.
Yes.
Not necessarily from a solo point of view. You're still going to need to either put 1 or 2 characters with him to give him a little bit of top cover, a little bit of protection. But he now has the potential to really, really save people's skins. I mean, just, whereas before you had to put him in a 5-man team. He had to be in a 5-man team. So the best you could hope for was a 60-banner win. You can now put him with 1 or 2 other characters. You're getting 61, 62, 63s. So the rework for Vader has just made GAC so much more important and so much more powerful. And oh my God, Frankie with the bits again. Bloody hell, mate. We've got a hype train going on here. But yeah, so hyped for the hype train, hyped for Vader. I mean, if anybody out there has got any, I can't wait. I wish It's Just Ian was in the chat so I could ask him. How's the theory crafting going with Vader? Because there are infinite possibilities with him and dark side characters. I really want to know if there are some totally off the cuff, random dark side characters that you can throw. I'd love to, just off the top of my head, one thing that instantly strikes me as doable is I wonder what Vader would be like under a Maul lead, because Maul would stealth him. Could you imagine the damage that he would do if he's stealthing every 5 minutes? That would just be so awesome. So Llama's sharing cheers. Everybody's sharing. The Llama's sharing bits. Everybody's sharing cheers. Thank you for the love. While everybody's sharing the love.
So here's the love. I'm like, oh my God, watching all this. I'm trying not to cry.
Stiff upper lip. I'm British. We don't cry.
Yeah.
We don't cry.
Okay,
I might share. If I'm watching Charlotte's Web or Rudy, you're allowed to cry at Rudy. It is 100% acceptable for male tears if you're watching Rudy.
Or
Charlotte's
Web. Or seeing your wife being taken care of by the community. That's what I'm gonna say.
Or if you're reading Chewie's death scene from Vector Prime, you are totally allowed to cry at that, because that's like the most incredible death scene, in all of Star Wars. Much, much more emotional than, walking onto a lightsaber. Dying because a moon has been thrown at you. That's the boss way to get killed off in a Star Wars story.
In old canon, yep. Yes, Cup. Cup says,
yes,
wait,
Cup.
Chewie
dies.
He died in old canon.
Yep, he died. He was given like the biggest, most baddest send off for a hero in the Star Wars universe you could possibly.
He says spoilers.
Go to my YouTube channel.
Been out?
Go to my YouTube channel, right? Go to my YouTube channel, right? And do a search for Storytime with the Nev. I read that chapter from Vector Prime where Chewie literally the last scene that you see Chewie in is him he raises his hands up and he screams and yells at this moon that's crashing down on him. And then, I cry. Because the first time I read it, I was bawling my eyes out. Because, like I said, you're allowed to cry at Rudy, you're allowed to cry at Charlotte's Web, and you're allowed to cry at Chewie's death in Vector Prime.
And I'm allowed to get emotional when my wife is being taken care of.
And you're allowed to get emotional. Yes.
All right. So you shush. Now, the thing is that with this Vader rework, though, it does encourage Vader to be geared, which encourages people to go after Luke. Biscuit
Weasel with the bits. You're encouraged to go for Vader.
Yeah. Well, you're encouraged to go for Vader early, but this really, really encourages people to go for Vader.
Oh, hell yeah. And the fact, and don't forget, you are required. He is a requirement to go for Jedi Knight Luke. So it's
that's what I mean. You're getting these characters for Luke. Well, Going Nerdy definitely found his password from the other day.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Thaddeus found his password.
Thank you, Thaddeus. Thank you, JJ.
Was it 12345? Thad, was it? Is that what your password was? It was 12345, wasn't it? Go on. Just tell me it was. You were watching Spaceballs, weren't you? When you made your password for Twitch, that's why you couldn't remember it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are over 200% on the hype train.
We are over 200. I've never seen that before.
Chew. I was gonna put chew effing chew, but you know.
Yeah,
to all of the people who aren't watching the show but are listening to it in a later broadcast, what happens on Twitch is people will cheer and they will subscribe and they will throw bits. And oh my God, Frankie's just dropped another 2,000 bits. So chew. Yeah. So yes, there's and Paul is just a blubbering mess next to me right here now. So I'm going to maintain a cool, calm head. Because I'm a professional and I'm a British and we've got a stiff upper lip. So
yeah. You're heartless.
Order Samfly jumping in there with the bits. Game, you've already said that, and the llama's coming in with more bits. Okay, so yes, while Paul is reacting the way he is, I'm going to keep talking about Vader. So obviously I do genuinely think when you think about it. One of the major complaints that people had when going for characters for the Galactic Legends, they were having to farm for and relic characters that were useless. There can be no argument there. There were so many characters that you had to farm for GL Rey and for GL Kylo that were useless that people just weren't going to use. They were just going to get thrown in defenses. I think that by doing this rework and doing this touch up on Vader, it's like, hey, look, you have to farm him for the Jedi Knight Luke, but we're going to make it worth your while this time. So we're going to do a touch up, even though you have to farm him and relic him to relic 3. We're going to do this touch up and we're going to make it worth your while. So I think that has to be something that we praise CG for. We will, I'm quite happy to hammer CG. But all of their transgressions, past, present, future. But when they do something right, we have to give them their due. We have to pay due credit to them for this. And Vader is something that we have to give them credit for. Not only did they, give him a rework, but they gave him a boss rework that is screwing over people. So it's literally screwing over people that have paid for GL characters, GL Kylo and GL Rey.
There's still ways to counter the Vader counter, so it's not as if they're entirely screwed over. It was a good nod to free to play. It was an amazing.
Keep talking.
I'm sorry, Buzz. I will get to you guys at the end of this segment. Oh my God,
Buzzsaw, thanks a lot, buddy. Really, really, really appreciate the love.
But he was an absolute love letter to the free to play community. That I'm going to agree with you on.
Yeah, it was free to
But there is still counters to Vader. There are counters to Vader through Rey.
There are going to be counters. There the theory crafters have done their magic, past and present. And there are still going to be counters to this Vader. But I just can't see. That's why I say that this upgrade, this touch up to Vader, is so important from a GAC point of view. Because people aren't going to be putting their Vader in defense anymore. No way on God's green earth are you going to put Vader in defense when he can do what he does. You are going to keep him for offense so that you can get those undersized victories. I mean, sure, you might put him in defense for territory wars, but I mean, oh my god, what is he gonna? What's he gonna be like in Darkside GOTB?
Yes.
Oh my god, what is he gonna be like in Darkside GOTB? I mean, forget about it. You are gonna. Doesn't matter what team you put him on, you are getting a 4 from 4 with him in the lead. You're gonna come on.
I don't know if you're gonna get 4 for 4, but you're definitely gonna do better than you did last time.
I mean, screw the Palpatine lead. You put Vader in the lead. You are gonna get a 4 from 4. Maybe stage 1 and stage 2, you'll get a 4 from 4. Maybe not necessarily stages 3 and 4.
Yeah,
but I think that you'll get a 4 from 4 on stage 1 and a 4 from 4 on stage 2 with a decent Empire team with Vader in the lead.
Yeah, we will see what comes of it here. Now, so this merciless massacre. You talked how amazing it is.
Yeah.
But the fact that when you turn on merciless, you get plus 50% offense, plus 25% critical chance, plus 50% critical damage. You're immune to fear and turn meter manipulation for doing what you do to them in this. And if you have the Zeta on it, you can do it 5 times.
Yeah.
You can essentially do it 5 times. And then how many in your guild Zeta'd him immediately?
Everybody I know Zeta'd him immediately. Everybody I know Zeta'd him immediately. I watched Flair spend crystals so that he could do refreshes, so that he could get the Zetas, and then when he went to put the Zeta on him, he didn't have enough Omegas. Which I thought was hilarious.
I did that Zeta today. I did the Zeta today.
Every account that I had a spare, every account where I had a spare Zeta, boom, straight on Vader. Straight on Vader. Even with him not being geared, right? Even with him not being geared, on my lowest account, on my Horde account, he's only gear 7. But I had 3 spare Zetas, so I put the Zeta on. It's like, sod it, you know? It was like I put the Zeta on I put the Zeta on him because now I will throw him in with my Sith Triumvirate. I mean, I've got a weak ass Sith Triumvirate with him and his Zeta on it. Boom, you know, it's a 60k team, but it's going to be able to take out like 90 and 80k teams.
And I see that Hellenix says that he Zeta'd Vader, but he hasn't relicked him yet. Hellenix doing relics on a character?
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Monumental.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 1 piece away from relicking him on my main account. I need 24 stun guns. And once I've got those 24 stun guns, he will be gear 13, and I will take him straight to relic 3. Although I'm very, very tempted to take him to relic 7. Very, very tempted.
Neil?
Mm-hmm.
I would.
Oh, God. I think I'm gonna.
If we're trying to predict what will come later on with one of the next 2 Galactic Legends, and I'm not saying the next Galactic Legend pair, I'm saying one of the next 2 pairs. So in the next 2 years, you're going to need a Relic 7 or possibly even 13 or whatever they make it.
Mm-hmm.
Vader. I would do it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely do it.
Yeah, but the Luke event, the Vader upgrade, that's why because a lot of us were happy with the Luke Skywalker introduction and the Luke Skywalker event, because loads of us have been really, really, really happy and over the moon with the touch up to Vader, that's probably added to the feeling of being underwhelmed by the road ahead, because we got Luke, then we got Vader, and it's like, yeah, come on, keep this hype train going, CG. You're getting.
I was hoping there would be a picture of Hondo Onaka inside this road ahead.
Yeah, that never ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. As much as you want it to happen, it ain't ever gonna happen. Okay?
It'll happen.
No,
we will get Hondo.
We'll get Hondo when we get Carrie back. And we ain't getting Carrie back.
Happen.
That's not going to happen. She's loving it at Bungie.
I can confirm 100% that will never
happen. She's loving it at Bungie. There's no way she's ever quitting that job. I wouldn't quit if you love what you're doing as much as Carrie loves what she's doing at Bungie. You're never going to leave that type of a role. You're never going to leave that position. But yeah, I just feel that
I'm
they
just gonna
really
say
could have
I
sealed
know
the deal.
things, and Carrie is very happy where she is.
Yeah, they really could have sealed the deal. They really, really could have sealed the deal with content creators and with the community if they just given us a little bit something more with this. Some images, you know? They're always yammering on about their art department. Why didn't they give us some mock-ups for what the event would look like, you know?
All right.
Anything extra. I just think it was missing, you know. Sometimes you can cook something and you'll eat it and you'll think to yourself, it tastes a bit bland. I forgot to put something in it. That's what this road ahead feels like. It's a good stable meal, but they've just forgot an ingredient. They've missed an ingredient.
All right, let's go through this, and then we're going to go to break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to cross the podcasts. We're not going to cross the streams because crossing the streams is bad, very bad,
very bad.
We're going to cross the podcast as we welcome Gambit coming up. But let's do this. So far today, we want to thank the following people for joining up. Halzo, thank you very much for following. Skywalker Vader. Ryan Albert, thank you for joining. Buzzsaw, thank you for the resubscribe. Llama for the 500 bits. Schnarman for the 500 bits. JJ Manners for gifting a sub. Frankie for the 1,500 bits. Dr. Feelgood for gifting a sub to Zareth. Schnarman for the 550 bits. Buzzsaw for the 100 bits. Frankie for the 1,500 bits. Real Going Nerdy for the 200 bits. Llama for the 2,000 bits. Real Going Nerdy for the 100 bits. JJ Manners for the 100 bits. Buzzsaw for giving out 5 gift subs to everybody. JJ Manners for the 100 bits. Ouchie for the 200 bits. Sephoranus for gifting a sub. Biscuit Weasel for the 500 bits. Sephoranus for the subscription. Guys, this is... Thank you. Real Going Nerdy again for 200 bits. JJ Manners for gifting a sub. Frankie for another 2,000 bits. Sidious Sandfly for 200 bits. The Llama with 2,500 bits. And Buzzsaw with 1,000 bits. Gambit Podcast following us 2 minutes ago. I wonder who they are.
Yeah, who are they?
Yeah.
Who are they? Bunch of rapscallions.
So, all right. We are going to take a break. And on the other side of this break, of course, there's story time with the Llama. But on the other side of that is our incoming transmission with Zareth and Solo Bass from the Gambit Podcast. And they've got some very, very interesting stuff that they've come up with. And we got mentioned in their last episode that I listened to while getting nasally violated by the COVID testing area. By the way, negative. Whee! All right. We will see you guys on the other side of this break right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways Network.
Back to school. The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod, cast for kids. This week we are back with our regularly scheduled faction facts, and this one comes with a bit of a disclaimer. Now, there's going to be one character missing from this list, and that's Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and there's a reason for it. I'm giving Rey and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren their very own Faction Facts episode when I cover Galactic Legends in 2 weeks. Next week, I'm going to be covering Resistance, which means this week I am covering First Order. Now, there are 10 characters in this faction. Kylo Ren Unmasked is available on Cantina Node 3F. OG Kylo Ren is available on Cantina Node 4C. First Order TIE Pilot is available on Darkside Hard Node 6B and Lightside Hard Node 6D. First Order Officer is available in the Cantina store. First Order Executioner, or Fox, is available on Cantina Node 2G. Captain Phasma is available in the Galactic War store. General Hux is on Darkside Hard Node 6A. First Order Stormtrooper is available on Darkside Hard Node 2A and Lightside Hard Node 2B. Sith Trooper is on Darkside Hard Node 6C. And last, but certainly not least, is First Order SF TIE Pilot in the Guild Store. Now, there are 3 leaders in this faction. First up is Kylo Ren Unmasked. His leadership ability, Merciless Pursuit, grants First Order allies plus 40% critical damage and 30 speed. Whenever a First Order ally scores a critical hit, they gain plus 20% turn meter. And whenever a First Order ally gains any status effect, they recover 5% health and protection. Now, Kylo Ren is definitely the most used leader in this faction, but there's a fairly new character that is quickly taking that spot. And it's definitely not Captain Phasma. Her leadership ability, Fire at Will, grants allies plus 20% chance to call another random ally to assist. That chance is tripled for First Order allies, granting them a 60% chance. Now, if that ally has advantage, they regain it for 2 turns. First Order allies gain advantage for 2 turns at the start of any encounter, and they can't be critically hit when they have advantage. Plus, they gain 20% potency when they have it. Now, like I said, Phasma's rarely ever used as a leader. In all honesty, she doesn't really have a huge place in this faction at all. But this next leader is quickly becoming a favorite in the community. And that is General Hux. Now, his leadership ability, Bow to the First Order, grants the basic attacks of all First Order allies plus 50% more damage than they originally had. Now, if all allies are First Order, Hux gains dominance at the start of the encounter and at the start of each of his turns if he didn't have it already. Now, this cannot be dispelled or prevented, and it expires at the end of his turn whenever he's critically hit. Let's take a look at what dominance is real quick. When a character has dominance, enemies cannot counterattack. And First Order allies have 100% counter chance and plus 50% critical damage. Now, like I said, Hux is an excellent leader, and you really can swap him and Kylo Ren out, especially when you are facing a team that needs a lot of attack and damage and critical hits. He is a really great leader for that. Now, uses for First Order. In Territory War and Grand Arena, they are excellent on defense. That's where you will find them the most. In Territory Wars, guilds of all sizes put First Order walls to try and block out their enemies. Now, they can also be used on offense, but they tend to be a better defensive team. You can also use them in combat missions, in Darkside Hoth TB mostly, They can be used in some of the earlier phases for the Geonosian territory battles. Really, really good if you've got a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but we'll talk about him later. Now, they are hard counters for Ewoks, Geonosians, Talzin-led Night Sisters, Old Republic, and the Hux leadership is actually really, really good against Phoenix. They are soft counters for Bosk or Jango-led bounty hunters, Bastilla-led Jedi, JTR Resistance, and Sith Triumvirate. Now, Kylo Ren's leadership can be counted by Padme Galactic Republic, Shaak Ti clones, CLS Rebels, General Grievous droids, Ewoks, and JTR Resistance. Now, I want to hear what faction you want me to cover. Like I said, the next 2 weeks, we've got Resistance and then Galactic Legends, but after that, send me your suggestions, I want to hear them. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the show. This week's incoming transmission is, well, you know how much I suck at intros. I mean, you saw my terrible intro for Mudbum on the show the other day, so I'm going to hand over to the maestro, the MC of all MCs, the master himself. Paul, why don't you introduce our guests this week?
Ladies and gentlemen, two GAC heavyweight fighters known as Solo Base and Zareth have come together in order to teach young Padawans on how to play GAC to their fullest potential. Now, one thing that they aren't going to tell you is that they also are inspired by this show, which we're going to get into on how we've inspired them to do something themselves. But ladies and gentlemen, from the Gambit podcast, the second best podcast on your podcast radio, Solo Base and Zareth. Let's start with Solo. What's going on, Solo?
Not much. Thanks for having us, guys. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. And Zareth, hello.
Howdy.
There you go. For the podcast audience, now you know that Solo likes to talk and Zareth doesn't.
I'm okay with talking too.
I know. I just wanted to tease you. All right, let's get into this. Solo, for a reminder or a introduction for new listeners to this show, what type of player are you? Dolphin, whale, Kraken, minnow, free to play entirely, and where's your roster at?
Well, probably up to 6 months ago, it would have been Dolphin, but now probably Baby Whale. Call me a beluga or something. I'm at 6.4 million. I do have.
You exploded since last we talked to you.
I did. I have Rey. I have Jedi Knight Luke, and in about 2.5 hours at the daily reset, I will be farming Supreme Leader Kylo for the first time. I need about 4 more pieces, so I just need that energy at the reset.
All right, Zareth, what about you?
I've been doing the Dolphin thing for a long time, but just like Solo, I mean, you can't have a podcast without whaling. I mean, pod, it just kind of comes with it. So, I've been spending a little bit. The Jedi Knight Luke kind of forced that on me. Not forced, I shouldn't say that, but I did spend more than I intended, and now he's like gear 9, so he's a real threat.
My slacker is gear 9 right now. He is gear. No, I actually think he's 8, but he ain't where he's supposed to be. I'll tell you that much.
What's a slacker?
Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Pure free to play here, so you know. What's a slacker? You know, I will never own a slacker. I will own a Jedi Knight Luke, though.
I'm sure you'll own a Jedi Knight Luke, which will
I've already
lead
told you.
to
I may not.
further.
I didn't get him this time around. I will get him the next time around. And if it looks like I'm not, I will hit the street corners. Bisweez has promised to be my pimp. He is only going to take 10%. Nothing is going to stop me from getting Jedi Knight Luke on my main account. So, yeah. Much easier than a Slacker or a Ray. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I've got to quickly change the guest command for all the people. So, let's first talk about what is the Gambit, and what inspired the Gambit? Where did the Gambit start? What is the Gambit, and where did it start?
Zareth. Zareth and I, for what we were in a guild together for years, and we had a personal chat going on just between every territory war and every grand arena about what we were going to do, teams we were going to use, teams we were going to counter, etc., etc.
Is this the same guild that you're in now?
No.
Okay.
I was leader of a guild that failed, and so now I'm in Bodhi's guild, and he needs me to remind you that evil sucks.
You beat me to it.
You're in the Howling Ewoks.
I was actually going to ask
We
you
are.
to do it on the way out.
Is it the Howling Ewoks?
Yeah. We were in 50 Dead Men Ewokin, and now we're in the Howling Ewoks, and I'm actually also in Ewokin Dead, running territory war on both, and that's miserable. But so we just always talked, and so one day Zareth was like, we should do this in a different way, and there we go.
So what's the format for the podcast? What do you talk about? How do you split your segments down? Do you get guests on, or is it all about the GAC?
We talk about other things when they come up, but we say it at the very start. Our GAC or our podcast is completely centered on GAC. And all of our discussions, most of them anyways, are going to be related to Grand Arena. Like, we're going to be looking at topics through the Grand Arena lens. There are certain things that transcend that, if something Territory Battles comes out, I don't know how you could see it from a Grand Arena lens other than, well, it's good to farm this character because you can actually use him. Also, Geo Brood Alpha, for instance, is great in Grand Arena as well. So, that's most of our thing is Grand Arena. And honestly, we have this discussion all the time anyways. Solo says that we started doing our podcast just to talk about Grand Arena, but we don't save it for that. Like, we're constantly talking every day anyways. And so when it comes up, when we have our podcast, it just kind of flows pretty well. We do have a slight structure, but it's nothing too fancy. You guys have so much cool production, and you have split segments, and we just say, and now we're doing our next segment.
You need to make some funny commercials. Just make some fun stuff up, just to give yourself a break.
So Solo based, what was it? Was it Solo or Zareth that had their kid do a commercial?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, you guys inspired me on that. Actually, I did that a couple weeks after we came on the first time with you guys, because I do really enjoy you guys' production level. It's great. Something Solo and I talk about a lot, actually. We still haven't gotten around to doing it as much as we'd like. But
you need help. Just say the word.
It's not something you just can't. It evolves. It's something that evolves. You just pick it up. And once you've got a couple that you can circulate, it's just not. It gives you a bit of breathing space because you can run a break for. It doesn't have to be like 5 minutes long. It can be just a couple of fun little bits that you've put together, just to give yourself kind of like a 2-minute breathing room, so you can refresh a drink or pop off to the epiphany toilet. Have that. Spark of have that spark, that epiphany that will definitely help you.
The llama points out something very, very true, that at the beginning of our show, the middle segment wasn't story time. Instead, we did what was it? Radio not Radio Free Tatooine. That's Galactic War Report. The Tuscan News Network. That's what it was. So TNN.
Nice.
And Arlandana, also known as Tuvok, would voice the bits, and it was great. It was absolutely great. We did radio dramas just like we do for season ending shows. With us, every 30 shows is a season to us. So at that 30th show, we'll do a radio drama where, something happens and it ends on a cliffhanger to lead into the next season. So, I mean, and as I said, if you guys want, I'm more than happy to help you with that. And that's actually kind of what I can lead into. You don't even have to be a part of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network, because you guys went and done did your own network.
We did. With basically got the idea from you guys.
So who's in your network?
Who do we have right now? We have Zareth and I, obviously. Then we picked up Klesso, End All Be All, and Black Mamba.
So all the GAC heavyweights, basically. You're hogging all the GAC heavyweights. It makes sense to do that, because let's be honest, GAC is what's keeping the community together right now.
So Solo, you and Black Mamba had a fight. Look, guys, I'm saying this quite literally. They had a fight between each other, and now they're best friends.
We did. That was a fun match we went up against. It's where Black Mamba learned the importance of Newt in 3v3.
Yeah, that was memorable.
So did your ladies help you out though?
In 3v3, I just put Night Sisters on defense. I don't like them on offense, so they just kind of sat there.
3v3. People are still iffy on 3v3. I think that 3v3 doesn't get the appreciation that 5v5 gets.
So let's talk about the people that you've got in. And what's this called again?
It's the Gambit Alliance of Creators.
Gambit Alliance of Creators, or GAC.
The GACN. So the GAC network. Nice one. That's got such a nice ring to it.
It kind of works for Grand GA Center, Grand Arena Center. Which you can catch every Tuesday during Attack Weeks right here on the Escape Podcast.
Really?
Yes. And we want to get to your thoughts on this on that as well in a moment. But let's go over the list. You said you've got you two, obviously.
Yep.
You have
Klesso, End All Be All, Black Mamba.
Okay, so End All Be All, he's scary to go against, from what I understand. He's absolutely scary. Do you want to comment on that, Zareth?
He is. He's like the mad professor of GAC. Like, watching his stuff, like it's easy enough for him that the guys he faces, it's not enough that he just beats them. He puts in like themes. He's like, everyone who has mustaches can be on a team, and people with beards have to be on another, and other people who like coffee. I don't know. I'm just making it up, but like he seriously comes up with these themes on how these different characters are connected. Then he handicaps himself, and he's it's just like playing with his food. It's just reminds me of a cat messing around with the mouse before he eats it. It's pretty entertaining. He's a great player, though. He's actually going to be on our live stream next week. He's agreed to be on it.
There we go.
For our Friday night live stream. So check that out.
We will. So not this week, but next week.
Yep. Yeah. This week we actually have one of the guys from Galaxy of Bureaus, which is why I have their beer koozie going on right now. He's going to be on our live stream later tonight.
Yep. Galaxy of Bureaus is a great podcast as well.
What time do you guys go live with yours?
Midnight Eastern.
Midnight Eastern time.
So we're not going to be able to raid into you.
Right.
But it guys, if you're still up at that time of night, and
we can raid you from the after show.
Yeah. If you're still hanging around with the after show,
if you're still with us in the after show, we will definitely come and raid you.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be. So we were live streaming on YouTube. You said that we subscribed to you 2 minutes before the segment started.
We saw that.
Literally, I started the account 3 minutes before the segment. So when you start the account, it says, "What are you interested in?" So I put in you guys and both of our personal profiles, and we started following. So this week is going to be our last week on YouTube. It's going to be kind of a send-off because Zareth is going up against one of the people that are in our Discord servers. So Zareth has got an interesting fight. We're going to send off YouTube and then start Twitch next week.
Welcome.
But we've got 47 people currently watching this. We have 47 people currently watching this stream. I posted in chat, and I'll also post it. I'm adding it to the show notes right now. Let's see. So I linked your Discord, and now I've actually linked your Twitch as well. I want you guys to take a moment, click that. Let's get them over to 50 before they even start on Twitch. Let's see if we can make that happen. I have just become follower number 3 as of right this exact moment.
That's cool. You got in before I did.
So, this is awesome that you guys are switching over to Twitch. As much as I enjoy YouTube, and we're still trying to get that 1,000 on our side, before we made the switch to YouTube, or from YouTube, it wasn't as interactive. On Twitch, it's become very interactive. And the community here on this side is only going to push you guys further. I could tell you that right now.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're hoping for. The problem with YouTube is that 30-second delay. It's like you're already past what people are commenting on.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't actually talk to the community.
The YouTube delay sucks. On Twitch, it's 3 seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot more tools on Twitch. I'm pretty new to it, but we've both started doing live streams for our Grand Arenas on Twitch, and my goal is to we each have our individual YouTube channels as well and Twitch channels, but my goal is to just start doing more live streaming for the Grand Arena so that I can make more content, make different videos. I have time to make different videos on my YouTube channel, and I'm guessing that Solo is doing the same.
Yeah, that's the plan. We started our channels, or at least I did, was for more an educational thing. If you look back at my original YouTube videos, it's no sounds. It's just me using a team. That way, when people say, "Hey, how do I use this team?" I would send them a clip of how to use the team. And so I want to get back to teaching people how to use teams with my videos, not just doing Grand Arena.
Back to school with Solo Base.
Yes.
You should totally call it that. If that's what you want to do, you want to teach.
I should.
That's what you should call. That's what you should call the podcast. Back to school with Solo Base.
the Twitch show. Yeah. If they're anything like me, they only want to do one podcast. The rest can all be performance videos. So
yeah, the one podcast does keep us pretty busy, but it's fun. We're pretty lazy, so we're glad that we already talk about it a lot.
It's rehashing our conversations. It's like we have a place on our server where it's just like, what did we talk about this week? All right, let's go.
And also, one of our moderators, if you could also post that link for listeners, put that in the PA as a call to action for support. That'd be great.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
Now let's talk. It's a little self-serving here, but you guys have also kind of embraced this because you've thrown the gauntlet of of the Gambit Alliance of Creators to go against the Escape Pod Chain Gang. You know, kind of our mano a mano for our top divisions. By the
you're
way,
going down, guys. You're going down.
But I just want to know that it seems like they have the advantage because I'm on the Chain Gang team.
Hey, you had a fantastic week last week.
You had a good start.
Terrible...
You've had a good start.
No, I haven't. I'm 1-2. I'm 1-2. I lost the first one just yesterday. And God knows I'm probably going to lose this one because there's a darn Padme on the bottom row. But nonetheless, anyway, I'm getting off track here. You guys have kind of embraced this for the new Escape Pod project called GA Center. What are you guys looking for in this production that you think could benefit the community?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just that you guys are you're bringing everybody to the community. There's a lot of good players out there, and you guys are kind of putting them in one spot for people to find, which is not always an easy thing to do.
Yeah, we've talked about trying to do some kind of like a leaderboard for a lot of the GAC content creators and stuff, just to kind of, increase exposure and get more people involved with the community. But we decided it would take too much work and just didn't end up happening as, and honestly, the scope of what you guys are doing is pretty cool. Finding 60 content creators. I didn't realize that tons of those guys,
And we're finding more.
Yeah.
We're finding more by the day for alternate slots and things like that. So
it's a lot of man hours, but it's definitely worth it. A lot of production time.
And one of the things that I kind of wanted to challenge you while I have you here. I wanted to kind of challenge you to do. Would you be willing to have you or Zareth, or I'm going to ask you, Zareth, on this, you or Solo, to be a Gambit Alliance of Creator correspondent, where you can report in on how you guys did?
Oh, that's fantastic! That's a really fun opportunity. I'm sure that we can arrange something that will be mutually beneficial.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
So one of you if there was something that we missed, then what we would love to have is for you to, last week you guys didn't, kind of like the Stephen A. Smith of GA Center, if you will.
That screams Zareth. Stephen A. Smith and Zareth, same person.
Don't you wish that evil on me?
So, when do you normally record Gambit, and how can people find the Gambit podcast?
Well, we record Monday nights right now. We usually start around midnight. Midnight Eastern, that is. You can find us. I mean, you guys just broadcasted the podcast page. We're going to start doing live podcasts soon. We've been doing them recording. Otherwise, we're on iTunes and Spotify. If you check out either of our YouTube pages, every single video has a link to the podcast as well.
So it's an easy podcast to subscribe to. Then people will always be able to find a link to be able to subscribe to the podcast.
That's the goal, at least.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And if you want to, if you go to our Discord server, which I keep seeing the link in these comments, our Discord server it automatically updates whenever we publish a new podcast. So if you want that, you can check that out as well.
So Zareth, how do people find your personal channel? What's the way? Are you sticking to YouTube, or are you also making the switch to Twitch?
So yeah, I'm doing GAC. I'm doing Twitch on G. I'm doing my GAC on Twitch now, but I'm also publishing it to YouTube. Right. I mean, my YouTube channel, it's starting to get bigger, and I don't want to abandon it, certainly. So I'm republishing the stuff that I do on Twitch just back onto my YouTube as well, kind of double dipping, I guess. But a lot of people aren't going to hit me live yet, at least. So on YouTube, all you have to do to find me is search just XAERETH, and you'll find my channel there. And all of my videos have links to, now they have links to Twitch, they have links to the Discord server, to the podcast. Everything's interconnected that way. And then if you want to search for me on Twitch, it's just Xaereth_prevails.
All right, Solo, how about you doing for your solo artist work?
I make it easy. For YouTube, it's just SoloBase15. For Twitch, it's just SoloBase15. I'm doing the same thing as Xaereth. His YouTube is much bigger than mine. But I'm going to be streaming the GAC matches on Twitch, and then I'm going to repackage them, put them on YouTube. That way we can put all the fights into our Google Doc. That's the counter sheets. That way if people need counters, they can just click a link and watch our counters as we play them.
And that was you did the perfect segue because guys, the link that we keep posting about their Discord has the counter sheet link in it. And these two guys are absolutely masterminds when it comes to, my God, how do I counter this? Even if it's a ragtag team they've never seen before, they break it down live when they do it, and they go, okay, well, this is going to cause this, and this is going to cause this, so I should bring this in order to make sure that this happens instead of that. You guys are amazing. You're
like the mechanics of the Swugger community.
They're the MacGyvers of the Swugger community.
Well, we're going to need to give you an oil change. You're going to need a new filter, and it's going to cost you.
You can trust us, though.
We promise.
Can I just park your account in the garage? We'll crank it up. We'll take a look under the hood. We'll give you an oil change. We'll put you back out there in the field. 9 o'clock
Central, you created this account 30 minutes ago. We have gotten you to 18 followers before even your first ever
broadcast
Amazing,
on
guys.
Gambit Podcast on Twitch.
Amazing.
We're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to announce. But guys, thank you for taking the time to come on. We're going to see you on those hollow tables, and we'll see who comes out on top once everything shakes down on GA Center.
Yeah, that'll be great. The Chain Gang, it'll be fun to have a friendly rivalry with the Chain Gang.
Be sure. I mean, obviously, like you said, 60 is an excessive number for you to be dealing with, but you could take the best 5 Chain Gangers and put them up against your 5 guys and just see what it's like. Get that, like you said, get that friendly rivalry going and see who comes out on top between our 2 alliances.
Well, it'll be good. It doesn't even have to be friendly, so it'll be good.
Yeah, but we've got a mud bum.
That's true.
But they have a Klesso.
We have a mud bum. you may have an end all be all, but we've got a mud bum.
Any final words, Solo?
No, just thanks for having us, guys. We always enjoy what you guys do, so I'm glad. Hopefully, pull some of your people, and they'll enjoy what we do.
All right, Xaereth.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. If anyone wants to hang out with us, we've got a crazy Grand Arena live stream in a couple hours coming up. So
seriously, go check them out. Yeah, check them out tonight on YouTube if you're in the after show Patreons, or Twitch subs, old and new. We'll see you guys there. We'll link and let you know when we're going to watch them as I fall asleep.
That's fair. Most reasonable people.
Exhausting day. Nonetheless, guys, we will see. We'll be back coming up after this break with our 4th segment, which was Patreon's choice. And if anybody is not a Patreon and they have some channel points, you could throw your questions in right now. using those channel points right here on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware. Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Noob.
Cheaters.
Noob.
Scammers.
Newbie.
Sandbaggers.
There you are. Wait, what's wrong, noob?
Greetings. Hello, it's my guild. There's sandbagging going on in territory wars.
Again.
Oh boy, here we go.
I just don't understand why guilds do
this.
What?
This sandbagging.
Wait, hang on. Where's that beep coming from? Is Flair in here?
Flair? I love Flair. He's awesome. I'm a
huge
fan.
Flair is pretty cool. Wait, we gotta get on with this. Okay, right. So, you don't understand why guilds do what now?
Sandbagging.
In territory wars.
They force some of their members to sit out of the territory war just so they can lower their guild's galactic power, thus ensuring they face a weaker opponent, allowing them an easier win. And that's
not fair.
Oh, newbie. It's most likely not sandbagging, bud.
It's not. Please.
Explain.
All right. Here's a short PSA that can help you understand. This PSA is brought to you by Hellenics.
#shameless self-promotion.
And the Hellenics Swuggo YouTube channel. YouTube's 1,138th most popular US-based Swuggo YouTube channel, as voted by Joe, the homeless guy, on the corner of 48th and 12th. Sandbagging in territory wars. What is it? Why is it happening? And who stands to benefit? In this Swuggo PSA, we will explore TW sandbagging and the many myths that surround it. In territory wars, Swuggo guilds are matched up based on their active GP. In other words, the total galactic power of all guild members who've joined said TW. Sometimes stronger guilds whose members have a higher average GP but have fewer than 50 members joining the TW are matched up with weaker guilds whose members have a lower GP but have all their members joining. This can sometimes create a situation where a guild with stronger individual rosters faces a guild with weaker individual rosters. Many players of the Swuggo gaming community call this sandbagging. They also tend to claim this is done intentionally, and that it's meant to provide the offending guild with an unfair competitive advantage. In effect, these claims state that the guilds who have fewer than 50 members joining a TW are doing so intentionally, and thus bullying weaker guilds for an easy win. Likely, this is not the case. Most of the time, guilds being accused of sandbagging have perfectly legitimate reasons, explaining why they have fewer than 50 members joining a TW. Perhaps their ranks aren't full. You can't have 50 people join a TW if your guild only has 44 members. Or maybe some members are unable to join. People do sometimes have other obligations, including work, school, and family commitments that can make them unavailable. Or what if the guild has made TWs optional? If members don't have to join the TW, some may choose not to join. Lastly, many guilds use raid ticket mules to help them generate their daily 600s. Obviously, these guilds wouldn't ask those small, undeveloped accounts to join a TW now, would they? These are some of the possibilities that could easily explain why a guild may have joined a TW with fewer than 50 members. So before you accuse a guild of intentionally sandbagging their TWs, consider this. Can there be any other reason besides sandbagging that could explain why fewer than 50 members join the TW? I'm certain that if you think about it for more than a few seconds, you will determine that yes indeed, there just may be. This has been Hellenix.
#shameless self-promotion.
For the Hellenix Swuggo YouTube channel. So this is guaranteed to gain me subscribers? So, do you see now, newbie? Your TW opponent probably isn't sandbagging your guild. It's probably just luck of the draw.
That doesn't explain
anything.
Hellenix?
Look, I know you're upset, newbie, but you can't just run off and accuse all your TW opponents of sandbagging every time that
But
they...
I'm
not
accusing our opponent of
anything.
Hellenix?
Dude, bruh, this whole skit is about TW
I'm accusing
my own guild
of sandbagging. They just told me to sit out of the territory war because I don't have
Galactic Legend Ray.
And the officers didn't want to lose another territory war. So in order to ensure a favorable matchup, I was told to
sit this one out.
Oh, okay. No, okay, Yep, that's sandbagging.
I told you so.
Meat bag.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. It's the fourth and final segment, and you know what that means. It means Patreon's choice, where you get to make us uncomfortable with, weird and wonderful questions, which normally you don't. You're usually quite good with things like that, but Paul kind of alluded to the fact that there might be some interesting questions this week.
There are.
So let's get it on, Paul. Come on. Hit me.
All right, what is your favorite EU book or book series? I think that one's going to be easy for you, Neil. For me, it's the Thrawn trilogy. I haven't read all of Heir to the Empire, but the new Thrawn trilogy currently stands as my personal favorite of the extended universe.
Yeah, mine is the original Thrawn trilogy. Heir to the Empire, Last Command. Yeah, that's my it's my favorite EU. I mean, it's close because the Legacy of the Force series is also a good one as well, but it's a lot more books, and a trilogy is a much easier, more bite-sized storyline. 3 books, story in, story out, and it brings in some really awesome characters. Although I am currently reading Star Wars Allegiance, which is another Timothy Zahn book, and it is fast becoming one of my favorites. And that is based loose in the Star Wars timeline, loosely based around the time immediately after the destruction of the first Death Star. So it's got an 18-year-old Mara Jade in it. It's got Vader in it. It's got Palpatine in it. It's got Ozzel in it as a captain. And it's a really good book. I'm about halfway through it at the moment, so it could potentially be my new favorite extended universe book, because it's not one of Timothy Zahn's 90s extended universe books. It came out in 2007, I think. But yeah, it's a brilliant. If I ever get the opportunity to meet Timothy Zahn again, I'm taking that book to get autographed.
It'll happen, and we're gonna get a crystal clear version of Timothy Zahn.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of these days.
All right. Star Wars Celebration 2022, Neil. Let's make it happen. All right. What's on your bucket list?
A fish and chip shop.
Fish and chip shop. For me, I'd love to make podcasts from Key West.
Oh God, yeah, no. On the beach.
I don't. Doesn't matter about being doing podcasts on the beach. I'd like to go fishing. I'd like to be able to see through the water. It's amazing. All right. Favorite place to visit on vacation? I think I kind of answered that one. Key West. Would
Maldives.
love to spend time in Key West.
Maldives Islands.
All right. Zaz asks, those questions, the previous questions were all from Geek Girl 1980. Zaz asks, a super nerd plague wipes out all of the current content creators for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
What two people from the servers that we know would we like to see carry the torch for the Escape Podcast as the new hosts, and why?
And they're not a content creator.
So if you are a content creator, you've been wiped out.
Okay, right. Okay. So somebody from the Discord servers that is not a content creator.
That is not a content creator.
Okay.
Bodhi comes to mind for me.
I'm gonna say a very old dear friend of mine that I've known playing this game for over 3 years now. A friend and fellow player called Darth Mufasa.
I've heard of them.
Darth Mufasa. We were in a guild together for over 2 years. We've not been in a guild together for well over a year now, but before that year, we were in the we were in a guild together for about 2 years, and he's the person that I've physically known the longest while playing this game. So I think we knew each other when we were communicating using Line. So our Swugger friendship goes back before Discord. So a really, really old long-term Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes friend of mine. So it would be Darth Mufasa.
Oh, so Bodhi and Darth Mufasa take over the Escape Podcast. Let's see. Everybody died. Tenpool asks why Tenpool is our favorite Patreon, because it's his birthday. We'll just move on from there. Geek Girl says, if I have to live in a house with 3 other content creators, who would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Hellenics?
Do they have to be Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creators?
I think that's kind of what she was meaning. I don't think she's.
So I can't just pick 3 hot Twitch thoughts then.
No. So I would say that it would be Hellenics, Heinze, and Llama.
See, I would go with I'd have to have a Brit in there, so I would probably go with actually I was about to say DB, but DB's just had a baby, so I don't think I could put up with the crying baby. So yeah, that would definitely put a chink in me bringing chicks back to the house, because they'd be like, why is there a screaming baby? So God, this is a tough one, because I've got so many content creators who are friends. This is a really, really tough one. You'll have to. I need to think about that a little bit more.
No, I had to quickly answer. There's tons of people that I totally didn't include. So you have to come up with your answer.
I mean, I could come up with 3, but you said I've got to give really, really good reasons. I didn't know this. If I'd known this question was coming, I'd have prepared. All right, Flair would be one, because then I wouldn't have to send messages to him all the time to chat, because we'd be there in the same building.
We have 12 minutes to get through a bunch of more questions.
Andy Beads, because we're Andy Beads, because then instead of having to communicate with him on Discord, I could just lean over, because he'd be playing on a PC close to me, because we're setting up a Commonwealth in our Minecraft world. So Andy Beads, so I can communicate with him, and we can really, really go to town on our Commonwealth area with our castles on our hills in Minecraft. Who else? Oh, I'll throw Heinze in there as well, because I'd need a drinking buddy. I'd need a drinking buddy. And Aussies are second only to Brits when it comes to drinking.
Because Buzzsaw went totally ham earlier with bits, I'm going to allow him to add his extra question. He wants to know if we think that the model for Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes was actually modeled after you instead of Liam Neeson.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. It was totally modeled after me. Because when the game first came out, I had long hair because I'd grown it for the first time in order to cut to give to charity. So, yeah, it was totally modeled on me. But when I had long hair before, I didn't have a beard.
All right.
I was clean cut. The last time I had hair this long, I was clean cut.
All right, here we go. Rapid fire time. And I'll answer it as I ask. Is cereal a soup? Yes.
Sorry, what?
Is cereal a soup?
No.
Are hot dogs sandwiches?
No.
Yes. Yes, they are. Of all the cons, this one goes back to regular questions. So those were from Flair. Geek Girl asks, of all the cons that we've been, which ones have you been to and what ones would you like to go to? I want to go with you to a Star Wars Celebration. I know you've been to one.
I've been to a Star Wars Celebration. That was a good one.
I've worked Comic Palooza here in Houston. I've been to E3. I don't know if that counts as a con. But back when it was news only, I went to E3 in 2005.
I did go to a mini Comic Con type convention in Wisconsin a couple years back as well. That was a lot of fun.
Dagger says the last time your hair was that long, it was also not gray.
No, it was still the exact amount of gray the last time I had my hair this long. You should know, having kids makes your hair go gray.
Now Llama asks, does a straw have two holes or one? Actually, my response to that is a straw is one piece that's wrapped onto itself, and therefore it's a sleeve for a substance to pass through, and it does not have any holes.
It has two holes.
How does a squirrel climb down a tree?
Carefully.
Carefully. What is your favorite comedy to quote? Basketball.
Basketball. Yeah. Basketball.
For both of us. Cock beer. Why were hamburgers not made in Hamburg? Why were hamburgers not made of Hamburg? Not made in Hamburg?
Because
and why
German,
are French
Germans
fries
like
not
sausages.
French food?
Sorry, what?
Why are French fries not French food?
Because Americans couldn't come up with a more interesting name for chips. I mean, they were already called chips, but you already had something called chips, so you had to come up with something else.
All right. If there is no NCAA college football, will LSU be considered? This is from Tenpool. Will NCAA football, LSU still be considered national championships for the 2020 season? And if so, would they be considered the first back-to-back champions in the playoff era? The answer is no. They would be champions for 2 years, but they would not be back-to-back champions because you have to win the game twice.
They would just be title holders. They wouldn't be the champions.
All right. If you had to make a Swaga dodgeball team consisting of 5 characters, who would you put on it?
Oh.
Treya.
Okay. Treya? Why you put Treya on if you want. I wouldn't put Treya on. I would put, if it was me, it would be all the Wookiees.
All the Wookiees.
It would be all the Wookiees because they're going to be able to throw that dodgeball extremely hard and extremely fast.
All right, I would put the 3 Kylo Rens because they can stop a blaster bolt. They can stop a dodgeball. And then I would also have to say, I would say Treya and Nihilus.
Okay.
Nihilus would throw the ball so hard that it would kill one of your Wookiees. They also said, what about a 5-man team of Swago streamers? Do you want to tackle that one?
I would go with all Brit. So I would go with DB, Jake, Mike Hunt, Smithy D, and me. Brits rule. You suck.
All right. If you had to make, I already asked that. Geek Girl. Oh, hold on. Oh, she. That's when Geek Girl and Tenpool started geeking out, if you will, about football. Let's see. What is something you would tell your younger self if you could?
Buy Bitcoin.
Invest in Apple. Let's see. Excluding Star Wars, your favorite cinematic franchise?
Oh wow.
James Bond for me.
Oh wow. So many choices. I'd go with. Nah, I'm not going to go with Alien because the recent ones were pants. Same with the Predator as well. Carry on.
Carry on?
Carry on, yeah. Carry on up the Khyber, carry on Captain, carry on Nurse, carry on Doctor. It's a movie comedy movie franchise. British slapstick humor.
What's your favorite RPG? Final Fantasy Tactics for me.
Probably Final Fantasy. Shining the Holy Ark on Sega.
Okay. Secret of Mana comes in close second, followed by Chrono Trigger in a very, very close third. Name 3 awesome guild names that made you want to join it. That was from JJ Manners. I'm going to say Line, ANZGC, Line. Then I'm also going to say Line, ANZGC, Line. And then Line, ANZGC, Line. You guys could figure out which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah. Mine's the same. ANZGC.
But no, honestly, the Bodhi's Guild, Howling Ewoks, I loved it.
Muppets of Endor will always have a place in my heart because I was with them for 2 years.
What's one GAC enemy team that makes you want to start cursing? From Sephironis, Padme.
I don't fear any of them. I get frustrated when I lose against certain teams when they shouldn't win, but I don't have any. There's no team that I look at and go, oh god, oh no, I don't want to fight them. Relic Darth Revan teams.
All right. And from Zaz, Google yourselves Hellenix and the Llama and tell us what you find. We'll do that later. I want to acknowledge it since he paid his points. We'll do that later, Zaz.
I can tell you what happened. I can tell you what comes up when I Google me.
Yeah.
The two. I ran for public office in 2011, and I ran for public office in 2012, and those are the things that come up.
Yeah. Dr. Feelgood wants to know if he can have a pony.
No.
Nope.
Go talk to Vermin Supreme. You want a pony? Go vote for Vermin Supreme.
All right. 928. We did it. We got all the questions in. Guys, it was an absolute pleasure to do this. And again, thank you so much for everything. Ram Bam for rating us earlier. E-Grace Gamer for the 300 bits after that. The amazing support that happened just before that.
The hype train was totally awesome, guys.
I am humbled by your support, and it does not go. It does not.
Yeah, the hall isn't the only place for high rollers now.
It does not go unnoticed. It will not go unthanked or unrespected. We do have my friend Jesse, our personal friend, E-Grace Gamer. He is live right now doing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We are going to, if you're watching this live on Twitch, I want you guys to follow, and I want you to hit that little follow button when you get over there, because this guy, if you love Macho Man Randy Savage, this guy is your guy. I'm going to tell you that right now. But we're going to go raid E-Grace Gamer as he's doing his GAC. I will be doing my GAC as part of the Chain Gang at 10 o'clock Central. And then Neil will be doing his at noon Central. And in between there, our GA Center co-host Flair will be doing his on his channel. We are going to have a Flair s'more. Deadpool Kyle just rated us with a party of 6 as we're closing up. We're going to be sending your 6, Kyle. We're going to be sending your 6 over to Jesse, also known as E-Grace Gamer. So stick around for that here. Any final words, Neil?
No, just thanks. Big ups to all the people that jumped on the Choo Choo earlier on. Chew effing chew. Hell yeah. So thanks a lot for that. And it was really, really nice and really, really, really lovely to see all of you in chat and chewing the fat with us, as I like to say. So and if you want to continue to chew the fat, where that F becomes a beep, come join us in the after show, because we're going to be raiding people all night while we talk over some various different bits and pieces.
And I work on the post-production of the show.
And I do my climb.
Yeah. So, guys, we love you. Chain is broken tonight, so we're here, but now we aren't. I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. But we're going to go to E-Grace, and I'll tell E-Grace to raid into Yeti. How about that? Does that work, Andy? Guys, you have a wonderful night. Evil sucks. Be nice to each other. And we'll see you next week on the Escape Podcast. Neil, push the button.
You got it, mate. Cheerio, everybody.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.